found another blue jay feather. Keep finding these things everywhere when I come back here. I don't know if it's all off the same bird or what's going on, but every time I come back to this section of the woods, I always seem to find a blue jay feather, so I find that as to be a good omen for the day. So, what I'm going to do is I get this this fiber, this stringy stuff off this log, because I think it's going to be good to make a bird's nest for my flint and steel. And here's something interesting too that I just saw. Looks like is it a feather? Yeah, it's a feather, but it's real small and very fuzzy. It almost seems like it came off of a young bird, like a bird out of the nest. I don't know. First I thought it was rabbit fur, but it's not. So anyway, so I'm just going to loosen up this bark. Lots of ants. Start pulling this stuff off. Some of it's a little damp. This is wet right here where it's dark. So we're not going to use that. It's going to be too wet right there. Get rid of that. It's probably wet because this log has been sitting, flat, and the rain's been hitting it, and the rain's been getting underneath these cracks and soaking the fibers. But I think some of this is salvageable if I break it up enough and work with it. I can get some of the moisture out of it. So we also found the bark that was hanging on the tree, which is actually even better because the rain is going to hit that and go down. It's not going to pool up and collect, and this stuff is much drier. So we're going to set this stuff aside. And I'm just going to strip this inner bark off. I'll make as much of this as I can. The weather today is really nice. It's high 70s, very sunny. It's supposed to get some rain this afternoon, so the humidity it's up. I know when you start doing flint and steel fires or making birds' nests, it's always really tempting to use leaves, dry leaves. I mean, they're everywhere, right? And it just looks like a natural thing. But for whatever reason, I've never had really good luck with leaves. They seem to not burn very consistently. They don't burn very hot and for very long. And they're just hard to work with, and they usually end up killing the fire that I'm trying to start more than help it. So I try to avoid leaves at all possible. Dry grass is another great tinder to find. This inner bark stuff, these fibers, is just gold because it has been protected from the weather. It is standing up off the ground, so it is not soaking up water, it is draining water. Now I don't want to just keep what I have the way it is. I want to work with it a little bit. And hopefully you can see that dust coming off of it. That's a really great indicator that this stuff is dry. I really want to get a fine ground up center so that when I transfer my ember into here, it's going to catch it. Make sure it's all good and dry stuff. And that's why it's called a bird's nest, because it kind of looks like one. So, alright, the ground, I cleared it off. Got these leaves out of the way because I want to start a little bit of a fire here. And once I move those leaves, the ground is damp. So I put a very nice piece of dry bark where I was pulling this inner bark from, and that's going to be my base. Then I have this rotten stick up here as a brace to kind of lift everything up, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to get this going with flint and steel, and then I'm going to add my sticks from smallest to largest until I get my fire where I want it at. And then once I get it down to a manageable level, then we'll go ahead and make some coffee. So this is my fire kit. This is my flint and steel. I have a piece of char cloth. Get it out of there. I'm going to close this back up because I don't want a spark going back into my kit and catching something else. Get my knee pad out. And of course the most important piece of flint. So I'm looking for a nice sharp edge on the rock, on the flint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a glancing blow. It's going to do a nice glancing blow on the edge of this flint, and then what happens is the spark is going to get onto this char cloth and it's going to create an ember. There we go. You see that? I'm going to drop that into the tinder bundle. Try and blow it so you guys can see it. There we go. And then I don't want to smother my fire, so I'm going to lay the twigs, the small stuff, on top of the brace. And the brace is going to allow oxygen to get underneath. And I can also prop stuff up here. All right. starts to die. A couple gentle puffs. We're going. And make sure I put my flint and steel back in the kit so I don't lose it.
Oh, he's a big one. Look at